All right, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for this afternoon's Statement of Support signing. My name is Scott Klein. I am the Director of Employer Outreach for the Illinois ESGR, the Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve. And we have been conducting many of these virtual Statement of Support signings over the past few months since we can't do it in person, but that doesn't mean we are slowing down in our efforts to work with businesses throughout the state of Illinois that are committed to supporting those that serve in the National Guard and the Army Reserve, and we are very grateful for that support. So today we're thrilled to be joined by Jim Elliott, the founder of Diveheart, who I know has a important motivation behind his support of the Guard and Reserve, both in a personal capacity as well as the organization. I will just say this, that as an Army Reservist myself, I am grateful for businesses and organizations like Diveheart that sign this statement of support like we're about to do today, because that support is essential to the strength of our great nation. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Laurie Silvey, the chair of the Illinois ESGR, who can introduce herself, talk a little bit about the work of the ESGR, and certainly explain what the statement of support says.
All right, thank you, Scott. And as Scott said, I'm Laurie Silvey, the state chair for Illinois Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve. In my day job, I work for the Illinois Chamber of Commerce as the vice president of business services. So I am a part of ESGR from the employer side. So working with all of the service members is a pleasure. The Statement of Support program is one of ESGR's primary efforts to build strong support for the Guard and Reserve. And the purpose of the statement is to encourage more employers to support their reserve component employees by publicly acknowledging that the company signing the document recognizes the importance of the Guard and Reserve. So since the first statement of support was signed back in 1972, hundreds of thousands of employers have made the commitment to be one of the supporting companies. And today, Diveheart is going to be signing their own statement and joining those ranks. I'm going to go ahead and read the pledge that you'll be signing. It says, "We fully recognize, honor, and comply with the Uniformed Services Employment and Reemployment Rights Act. We will provide our managers and supervisors with the tools that they need to effectively manage employees who serve in the Guard and Reserve. We appreciate the values, leadership, and unique skills service members bring to the workforce and will encourage opportunities to hire Guardsmen, reservists, and veterans. We will continually recognize and support our country service members and their families in peace, in crises, and in war." So Jim, if you'll go ahead and sign the SOS or acknowledge that you're signing the SOS, and let us know when you're done with that.
No, I'm acknowledging that verbally.
All right, that is just fine.
Appreciate it. Jim, congratulations to you, and thank you for the support. I know that you certainly have a story, a personal story, and I'd love if you can also share with anybody that might be watching or listening to this recording later a little bit about Diveheart and the work that you do with veterans.
Sure, absolutely. Excuse me. I'm thinking as you're talking and thinking about what I'm going to say. And my father was a disabled Army vet. So I grew up in Heinz VA, dodging wheelchairs as a kid. And it's been very close to me for a long time. And most recently, 2007 as recently as, we have hundreds of veterans around the country that are part of our program. We help them get vocational opportunities as instructors and instructor trainers to work with people with disabilities, other veterans, other active military personnel who have disabilities. And we use scuba therapy. If you don't know anything about scuba, it sounds crazy, but basically it's zero gravity, therapy in zero gravity, and there's all sorts of hyperbaric benefits that, people that, way above my pay grade can tell you more about. But most recently, we got Tammy Duckworth in the water, our U.S. Senator in Illinois, who was a diver prior to her injury, lost her left leg at the hip, right leg at the knee, has 50% use of her right arm, and Army Black Hawk helicopter pilot, and we got her in the water first time after she was shot down in Iraq. And on our website we have a media kit that articulates everything we do with kids, vets, and other people, and the research and the rehab and the trips and all the stuff we do to improve the quality of life, really, of veterans and others with disabilities. And she does like a 20-minute wire-to-wire interview with a PBS documentary that was off the charts. And how do you get the message out to the vets? How do you get the vets to come in? How do you get them to acknowledge everything that they might need, and they might not realize what they need? It's really a challenging thing. Transportation's a challenge. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities, and we want to help make that a reality. And we want to build a deep warm water facility, right near Great Lakes. And anybody that knows anybody in Lake County, we've got 10 acres that are guaranteed to be donated to us. And we want to build a facility where we can replicate a lot of the things we see in open water. In open water, we get deep enough to be able to see what John Hopkins saw. And that is that, 80% of PTSD symptoms are alleviated if we can get veterans deep enough underwater.
That's amazing,
and chronic pain can go away for up to 3 weeks. So that's kind of our impetus behind this really right now.
Well, it's amazing, Jim, and thank you for all that you're doing, both day in and day out for veterans, as well as, of course, with this statement of support for those that are citizen soldiers. So, beautiful story. Congratulations. Thank you for the support. You've joined the ranks, as Laurie said, of hundreds of thousands of businesses and organizations. We hope that you will display this proudly and hopefully encourage other businesses and organizations throughout Illinois to take the same pledge.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. And we will end the recording now.
All right.
All right, it's off.
Okay, Jim, thank you.
Yeah. Sorry,
Absolutely.
I got carried away and I got emotional when I heard you guys talk about everything.
Completely understood, and I mean every word of it. It's your continued service is incredible, totally incredible, and hopefully this will encourage folks to reach out for help also.
Well, with your help, we'll do great things.
Yeah, well, thank you. So where are you? You're on the East Coast, I think you said?
I actually drove, believe it or not, this is crazy. I'm a hoarder, right? So I totally save stuff. And I saved hundreds of wetsuits that we can't use because they're too old or ragged or whatever. And I take them to a recycler in New Jersey. My sister lives in Weehawken, right across the Hudson from downtown Times Square. And of course, we can't do anything now in New York, like shows and stuff, which we used to do with my mom when she was alive. But I'm here staying with her. But today we spent several hours with our recycler, and they donated $5,000 worth of recycled. They take our old wetsuits and they turn them into coasters with our logo on them. And they turn them into yoga. We just picked up 50 yoga mats, and I didn't realize how much yoga mats go for, but they're
wow.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's a big. Obviously, a lot of people are at home, so it's a big thing. But with our logo on it, and we're trying to, we're trying to keep stuff out of landfills to help the environment, but we're also trying to, help vets and kids and other people with disabilities. This money, any money that comes, I don't draw a salary. I donate all my time and all my training and come back to Diveheart. So we're trying to take all this revenue that we get, or any revenue that we get. This is a tough year, obviously, but we try to put it back in the programming. And, it's all about adapting. I tell them, when we go on a trip, I have 50 people and 8 or 12 people with disabilities. And I always say, the first thing you have to remember, it's all about adapting. So check your ego at the door and let's just get this done. And then I bore them for 2 hours. you know, about all the safety stuff we have to do to keep people. And since 1997, I've never had one safety issue. No one's ever gotten hurt. No one's ever gone to the hospital. No one's ever died. And none of the other training agencies in the world can say that.
Amazing. Well, we'll spread the word. I already have. We'll continue to spread the word. And thank you for doing this again. And appreciate it. I'll send you some more stuff later. And listen, appreciate you doing this. And yeah, please do print this off and then hang it wherever, you know. I know when I spoke to you last, you and Tina Marie were sharing an office. So hang it in the office and hang it loud and proud.
Did you get a hold of David Hirsch? Have you talked to him?
Yeah. We spoke a couple of times. Great guy, and it's funny, we know everybody in common. I couldn't get him on the show because he was unavailable on weekends, which is when I do the show. So, but we're gonna stay in touch, and I've listened to a couple of his podcasts. Very cool stuff.
Yeah, his oh my God, his stable is unbelievable. He's got the top people at Walgreens and all sorts of folks that have, you know, are involved in helping people, you know, with disabilities and stuff. And yeah, good guy. So
yeah,
I'm
really
glad
good guy.
you connected.
Appreciate that
I'm
intro.
glad you connected with him.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, great. Well, thank you both for your time.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you. Safe travels, and yeah, we'll talk soon.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye. All right, and I will see you again in a few minutes, Scott.
Yes, you're gonna jump off and jump back on in a few. Thanks.